What is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Carlin coming to you with rapid fire news on Sunday, July 5th, 2020. I hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July holiday, spending your time with your family and friends, just chilling out, taking a nice swim at the pool, having some hot dogs, hamburgers, all that good stuff for your 4th of July holiday. I actually had two working shifts back to back. I had one on Friday for 8 hours, and I had one yesterday on 4th of July. I had a 6 hour shift yesterday. So we're back here on the channel for the first time since the NXT on Thursday with rapid fire news today. We got a good show loaded up for today. We'll go over the news really quickly and then we'll get out of here. We got WWE being upset with the promo that Taz cut on Fyter Fest Night 1. That sounds absolutely ridiculous, and I'm going to go over why that sounds ridiculous. Triple H sends a warning to NXT UK roster over the speaking out movement, and also it was being reported that NXT UK roster should be open out for them to go back to tapings. So we'll talk about that as well. And then the big topic for the day, big topic in this video, is going to be that Vince McMahon is ready to return to to arenas if openly safe. That's going to be the big topic today. Vince McMahon wanting to turn to arenas, and why that's not going to happen for a very long time. Not even SummerSlam. It's not going to be an audience at SummerSlam. So that's what we got lined up for this video. If you have not already, make sure you guys go check out my Night 1 Fyter Fest review with Sami Kaloff. We did a very good collaboration on Night 1 of Fyter Fest. Once again, if you're watching this video, shout out to Sami Kaloff for that great review on Fyter Fest Night 1. And also, check out my NXT review, Great American Bash Night number 1. Both videos are actually, I believe both videos are over 90 views. So if we could get both videos to 100 views, that would mean a lot to me. That would mean a lot to me. I would really hope you guys do that. So that's that. Without further ado, let's start talking about the news. And the first thing I want to talk about, I want to get this out of the way first, is Triple H sends a warning to NXT UK roster over the speaking out movement. It appeared that it was this past Tuesday. I read an article. It was this past Tuesday that Triple H had a conference call with the UK roster, with the wrestlers on the NXT UK roster about, hey, you guys need to be on your best behavior now with all this stuff happening now. If I see you doing dirty stuff like this to women and you're under my watch, I'm letting you go. You're done. Just look at what happened to Jack Gallagher, gone. Ligero, gone. Travis Banks, who I thought was great in NXT UK, he's gone. But he's an a-hole, Travis Banks. So now that Triple H sent out this warning, I feel like the NXT UK roster, they can't do this stuff anymore. It's because, like, once Triple H says stuff about this and you're under his watch, you better watch out, boy, because he will let you go, and he's serious. So props to Triple H for sending that warning out to NXT UK roster. As for the NXT UK television shows or on the WWE network, the roster was told to be ready at any time because they could come in for a set of tapings of NXT UK. So maybe NXT UK is going to be coming back very, very soon. We don't know. We also don't know how many supporters the NXT UK is going to have just because of the speaking out movement. A lot of people jumped off the NXT UK bandwagon when the speaking out movement took place and all these wrestlers were doing dirty things, and they just don't want to, the fans don't want to be a part of that. So they jumped off the NXT UK roster bandwagon, and I don't know how many supporters the NXT UK roster is actually going to have. It's not even that the fans don't even watch the show. So it's going to be tough to get eyes on NXT UK. It's going to take them a very long time. They might not even be able to come back from all of this speaking out stuff. WWE upset with Taz's promo on Fyter Fest Night 1 this past Wednesday when Taz got on the promo and told Jon Moxley that he tested negative not once but twice, and if he came to AEW again to test again, he would get tested because, as you know, we don't run a sloppy shop. And that's what WWE got angry about, because that was clearly a shot at WWE for the way they've handled COVID-19, with Taz calling them a sloppy shop. What's there to be angry about? What's there to be upset about? Taz is speaking the truth. Taz is speaking the truth when he's calling the WWE a sloppy shop. For WWE to get angry at this, it's ridiculous. Because the fact that they can't even own up to their mistakes during COVID, and they're being upset at Taz for speaking facts. Taz was speaking facts on WWE being a sloppy shop. I don't know why everybody, and not everybody, most of the people in the community actually agree with Taz. And it was a well-deserved shot for the WWE, calling them a sloppy shop because they handled the pandemic situation awfully. They handled it awfully. So this was actually a well-deserved shot to the WWE. And for anybody in the community that is upset at Taz for taking this shot at WWE, A, you're the problem with the wrestling community and the reason why Twitter is so trash. 2, you are a complete WWE shill, and you will say everything that the company does is good, even though they clearly do not care for their roster members and their employees for testing positive with the virus. So you are the problem if you were on WWE's side and not Taz's side for this. This WWE comes off absolutely ridiculous with this article, with them being upset at Taz. Last topic. The last topic. I got this one all written out. I got notes for this one. This is gonna be a long one. Not should be around maybe 10 minutes, hopefully. Vince McMahon ready to return to arenas if openly safe. I got an article right here from Pro Wrestling Sheet that I'm about to read to you right here, and then we'll get talking on the discussion. So, WWE executive John Brody says Vince McMahon is ready for the company to return to performing in arenas if the people in charge safely open the arenas. WWE Executive Vice President, Global Head of Sales and Partnerships was interviewed on the Sports Pro podcast this past week, filming shows outside of the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Let's continue. John Brody was also asked how to change how the change to filming at the PC has changed WWE's content strategy now that everyone involved in the shows doesn't have to travel to a new town for each week for shows. Brody said this, and I quote, yeah, look, first of all, if people will open arenas safely, we're ready. Our chairman and CEO, Vince McMahon, has said we're ready to go, entertain, and put smiles on people's faces. So we look forward to the next step in the transition. Let me say that again. I'm going to say that line again. Our chairman and CEO, Vince McMahon, has said we're ready to go, entertain, and put smiles on people's faces. So we look forward to the next step in the transition. I think that WWE has barely, and I mean barely, put smiles on people's faces during this entire pandemic. They barely put smiles on people's faces. The only smiles that I see on people's faces on the community that we've had during this entire pandemic for the WWE was the Boneyard match at WrestleMania with AJ Styles and The Undertaker, and the match between Edge and Randy Orton at Backlash. That's about it. That is it. That's the only smile WWE has put on people's faces during this entire pandemic. Raw sucks. SmackDown sucks. NXT sucks. The way they handle this COVID situation, terrible. No, WWE has not put smiles on people's faces. He said before, noting that shooting at the PC has been different since it wasn't a set, it was a training center prior to the pandemic. And then the final thing that Brody said was this. When we're in a time of reduced travel, we're just trying to produce content, deliver content, give fans the ability to ingest content. Brody added, we've just had to pivot and evolve based on the realities of this global pandemic. So there's another thing about the shows, the weekly shows as well. He says, we're just trying to produce content, deliver content, and give fans the ability to ingest content. So with that line right there, it makes it sound like you're not even trying. You're not even trying to produce a good wrestling show. You're just doing the shows just to get it on USA and just to get it on Fox with no meaning behind the shows. That line showed it right there from Mr. John Brody in this interview. Then I have a follow-up article of Vince McMahon wanting fans at this year's SummerSlam. The company's upcoming television taping schedule through SummerSlam was released by John Pollock this past Friday. He also reported that WWE didn't give him a confirmation about where SummerSlam will take place. The schedule might say TBD in the location field next to SummerSlam, but it is very likely that they will be used in the Performance Center once again for this year's SummerSlam. WWE could try to pull off something unique for SummerSlam. Since they're not leaving Florida, they could always see if a beach could be rented. The cost associated with that might be more than McMahon wants to spend right now. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is what WWE should do with SummerSlam, and then I'm going to talk about Vince McMahon wanting to go back into arenas, if safe. So let's talk about SummerSlam, folks. SummerSlam was on a private beach in Florida and not at the Performance Center, I would not mind that whatsoever. That would actually be a very unique situation and would actually probably, hopefully, come off looking cool, fresh. It's something new, and it's something to get you excited about. We need something in the WWE to get us excited. And I have the feeling that this year, WWE could actually do something special with SummerSlam this coming year. They have the chance to do something really special with this year's SummerSlam, and putting it on a private beach and not at the Performance Center with the wrestlers would actually be a great idea, and it's something that I would be 100% behind, because it would be very, very cool in my opinion. And then let's talk about Vince McMahon wanting to have fans openly come back into arenas if safe. This is another example of Vince McMahon trying to play God. This is another example of Vince McMahon trying to play God in the world of sports like NFL and Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, golf, tennis, whatever, NASCAR. Vince McMahon trying to play God and be the first person to have fans in arenas. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything else from Vince McMahon, but I have a bad feeling, Vince. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're not getting fans back in arenas anytime soon. If anything were to happen, I think fans could start coming back maybe around October. That's just a prediction. Maybe October, fans start to come back into arenas, maybe 25% capacity, 50% capacity with social distancing rules, and all that stuff. But Vince, you are not getting fans in arenas anytime soon, and you're not having fans at SummerSlam this year as well. So that's the situation on Vince McMahon wanting to have fans back in arenas if safe. And I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have not already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. We are trying to get to 150 subscribe. Let me rephrase that. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers right here on the Big Fight Field channel in the month of July. So I would very much appreciate that if we could get to 150 by the end of, or maybe by Extreme Rules. That would be great. Comment down below what you think about the news of Triple H's warning to the NXT UK roster over the Speaking Out movement, WWE upset over Taz, and Vince McMahon wanting to have fans back in arenas. Like this video if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at Conlin_Joseph and Instagram as well at Conlin_Joseph. And folks, I will be back tomorrow night with your Monday Night Raw review with my very special guest, Tim Vader. He was supposed to be on my Raw review this past week, but considering I had work and I took a week off of Raw and SmackDown content, I decided that not to do a Raw review this week, and we had to push things back. So he will be on my Raw review this coming Monday. Make sure you check that out, and I will post the rest of the schedule for Big Fight Field coming up this week on Twitter later tonight. Have a good night. Stay safe, guys.